personalities and guests alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Would you love to deepen your spiritual connection and create a conscious shift in your life? Do you seek answer to human experience? Well, welcome to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. It's a 2.5-hour safe haven for your questions and Spirit's answers. And you can transform your life right now on VCMG in South Florida. Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium who can assist you to connect the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. For the next 2.5 hours, listen and call in toll-free 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube and share love and light.
The world is changing now, and we don't know where to go. The world is different now, and people have lost their way. It's just not easy to be who we want to be, 'cause the world is changing now. We can't walk the way we did. We don't know the path. We have to listen to our heart. The ways that worked before, they don't work anymore. We have lost our love for everyone. We have hurt each other. The world is changing now. It's asking us to move along, to open up a different way of loving one another. We can't stay the same. We've lost the game of life. We can't run away anymore. The world is changing now. We need to heed the warning. The world is calling you to rise above where you've been. The world is changing now. What we did before doesn't work. It's time for you. It's time for me to change. The world is changing now. Won't you change and open your heart?
Open your heart. Right here on the Oldies Station, you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation at 866-972-7247. And we're welcoming your calls. So there's so much going on in the world, and we really need to take a look. We need to take a look at the darkness that surrounds us. We need to take a look at the things that make us feel uncomfortable. It's time to take a look at the things in our own lives that aren't working for us. You see, the world is changing, and it may never go back to the way we thought it should be, where it once was. It's evolving, and every evolution brings about some difficulties, some challenges. But each one of us is here as an aspect of light, as a being of light. And I think sometimes we forget that as we're going about our day. We forget that we are a messenger of love and light, and we're here to assist other people, to make their day greater, brighter, better. I know, you may say, well, what about me? No one's doing that for me. But we have to be the change that we desire. You have to be the light. And whether you chose a profession such as myself, or you're working in an office, perhaps you're a lawyer, a doctor, a teacher, you are a being of light, and you are a light worker. Whether you take that term or not, that's what you are. You are a being of light who is here to assist others on their path, and in turn receive assistance. We all have a soul contract. And what I'm seeing across the world, across the globe, across social media, is everyone is at each other's throats. And common decency is escaping us. What happened to holding the door for someone else? You see, when you hold the door for someone else, you're a light. So today I was out to get my nails done, my Wednesday, every other Wednesday. And someone was approaching. And I was walking out, and I had to stand there for about 2 seconds before they even got to the door. But I stood there and I held the door for them until they made their way through. And then I went on my merry way. Now, yes, I had to be somewhere, and yes, there's lots of things that we all have to do. But what did it take from me and take away from me to hold the door for someone who was entering the salon suite? Absolutely nothing. What does it take to have a kind word for someone? You see, in a world that seems to be marred with darkness and difficulties, there's questions of who's right, who's wrong. There's disturbances throughout the world. There's unrest. There's a lot that we can look at and say, that's wrong with the world, and that's wrong with the world, and that's wrong with the world. But we need to take a step back and look at in our own life and what is in your own life that you need to change and be a light for yourself. You see, as a light, you are the expression of the divine in motion. As a light, you are expressing everything that is pure and filled with love. Now, given the world and our day-to-day activities, I understand. You could sit there and say, well, you don't work where I work, Sarah Spiritual. It's difficult. It's challenging. It's frustrating. It's toxic. Or you don't have the financial issues going on, and you don't know what I'm going through. It's difficult, it's toxic, it's burdensome. Or we don't have a health issue, right? So somebody may have a health issue somewhere, and they may feel like it's hard to find the light. But the answer to every dark question results in light. The answer to healing is the power of light. And what fuels light? Love. Something dark and negative is filled with anger and hate and frustration and resentment and jealousy. And oh my goodness, can you see it all around you? And I'm not asking you to look at someone and say, oh, they're filled with jealousy. They have resentments. Oh, they think they're right about everything. What an opinion they have. I'm not asking you to look at others and find what's wrong with them and deem them dark. I'm asking you to find the light within you, shine your light upon them, and see the light in them, regardless of what's going on. When I was in my corporate job, it was a really beautiful environment. I loved it very much. It was a great sense of family. I loved what we did together as a group. And so I enjoyed the people I worked with. But there was this one woman, and I don't know if she listens to my show. She should still be living in New Jersey, but you never know. But there was this one lovely woman, Fran. And well, Fran could be a little sour-faced. So I would walk in and I would look at Fran and I'd say, "Good morning, Fran." She'd be like, "Good morning." I was like, ugh. So then I got it in my head that I wanted to make conversations with Fran when I walked in the door. So I would say good morning, and then I would put my things down, and I would go up to her and I'd say, "Oh, Fran, that dress looks beautiful on you," or "That lipstick looks really lovely." And we would have a banter, but she still would be kind of sour-faced. And I really felt that she was just being difficult. But of course, I knew better, and I knew that life wasn't easy for her and hadn't been easy, and she had worked long and hard to get where she was, and she really felt that she had a lot of pushback in her corporate journey and kind of felt like she was in a box. But every day I would do my best to make conversations with Fran. And there came a day that I walked in, I said good morning, and I sent her love and light, but I said to myself, why am I emptying my cup and trying to make a conversation with someone who really doesn't have anything good to say, doesn't really feel any light or love, isn't able to express something from their heart. They're only focusing on their resentment or what's not working or how much work they have to do. And, well, we can all have those things going on. But that would be what I would be met with every time I said hello to Fran. So I had to make a conscious choice to not really make conversation with Fran, because I would leave feeling like that icky feeling, like I wasted my time, like, I don't know, like I got the cooties. So I was like, I don't want to talk to Fran anymore. I mean, we had to interact for work, but I didn't make any chit-chat, right? There was no winning her over. There was no cheering her day. All I could do was be a vessel of light and send that energy and then trust that it was enough. And sure enough, after that approach, in New Jersey, in Bloomfield, New Jersey, there's beautiful cherry blossoms. And they bloom in a particular park. And I remember one day when we were at work, Fran says, I need to run an errand and I want to see the cherry blossoms. I'd love if you come with me. I can tell you I nearly fell off my chair. So that is my favorite and best memory of Fran. That we got in the car together and we were talking about things in life, and I got a different sense of her outside the office. And we got to marvel in the beauty of the cherry blossoms in the spring of Bloomfield, New Jersey. And what a good feeling that was. And she also showed me a little bit of beauty in Bloomfield, New Jersey that I didn't know existed. I didn't know that park was there. I didn't realize there were that many cherry blossoms to be seen. And so I got to see a different side of her. You see, sometimes people show you the side that's, well, uncomfortable or agitated because maybe they just don't want anyone to get close to them. And I'm not saying that Fran and I became best friends after our cherry blossom extravaganza, but we did have a better bond after that. And I also knew that she really didn't want to make chit-chat with me, not that she told me that, but when we went about our routine after our cherry blossom adventure, I never really bothered to make a lot of chit-chat with her because I felt like she didn't really want to. But all I could do was send her light, and I would always give her a compliment if she wore a beautiful shade of lipstick or had a particular great dress on or a top or something. I would always give her a compliment, because when you give other people compliments, you lift their spirits, you give them light. You know, sometimes people think, only light workers or people who do spiritual work or leaders or mentors can make a difference in the world. But that's not true. All of you can make a difference in the world. And in a time when there's a lot of darkness and difficulty, when there's a lot of division, you can be the light. You can be the vessel of communication that's filled with love and understanding and kindness. You can be that one person that people know they can feel good around, even when everything else feels like we're getting the cooties. Right? When we have that sticky, icky feeling of the energy in the world feels heavy. And by golly, I think we've all felt that. And there's so many things going on planetarily. There's so much going on in the energy of the sun and solar flares. So much going on now that we're in Mercury retrograde, the planet of communication. So things are kind of going backwards, and many of us are being forced to reflect. But where can you put light in your life? Where can you shift your thought process so that you have happier thoughts? Where can you find joy? Where can you find that childlike wonderment or that aha moment, just like looking at a field in a park of beautiful cherry blossoms? That is breathtaking. And when was the last time you lost yourself in something so precious? Like sitting on the beach and watching the waves come in and out, and listening to the sound of the ocean off in the distance, and just losing yourself in that rhythm. I understand we're all busy. I understand that there's so much that we have on our plate, and there are responsibilities. But we have to take the time to find the light in every situation. We have to trust that everything is working out for us, even if we don't know how. And we have to look for signs from the universe. Did you know that your angels and your guides always give you a sign? They always reach down and say, look over here. We have something for you. We have the beauty of who you are. We have a message for you. It could come in a song. It could come in the energy of numbers being repeated around you. It could come from a kind word from someone you meet. But it comes. It comes when you least expect it. And when you feel down and out and like the world has forgotten you. But there's light all around us. There's light from the great central sun. Even on a cloudy day, those rays are still beaming through, and we can still feel the warmth of the sun. There's energy that flows from the ground that you walk on. When was the last time you took your shoes off and stood in the grass and filled your body with the beauty of the earth? And then allowed that energy to be the light that you carried throughout your day. Don't let other people's words or opinions get you down. Understand that nobody defines you. You define you. And your soul was created by the divine. And that soul hosts so many talents. You haven't even given yourself the opportunity to embrace all those talents because you keep getting distracted by all the things in the world. What's something that would make you feel lighthearted and joyful and happy? How can we feel better about life? We want to find that light. We want to find that essence of joy all the way around us. In every place we look, there is always joy. I believe that we are all sent here to help each other through these trying times, and that was part of our agreement. And I know that people come in your path who can give you that word of hope, encouragement, and that each one of us has an opportunity to be hope and encouragement to another. It's a journey, this journey of a life. And it has many twists and turns. And as you twist and turn through the journey, you have to focus on what would make you feel good. What's a positive outcome of the journey that you would like to create? There's always a positive twist. Even in the most negative moments, and we've all had those moments when we felt like everything came crumbling down, we have that feeling that something good can come out of it, as long as we don't lose ourselves in the disappointment and the hurt and the pain and the resentment. So many times I speak with people, and 2 years after they've had this shift that brought them to their knees, they'll say to me in a session, "Now I know why it happened. It was horrible to go through it, but now looking back, I can see what God and the angels were trying to accomplish, because I'm so happy to be where I am." But try to tell that to us when we're going through the tough times. It's hard for us to fathom that. But if you train yourself to be a light and shine a light out, you will always be able to find light in every situation and always be able to help others in their path of darkness. Because we've all been through it. We've all had similar challenges. And although someone may make life look easy, and you may look and think, "Oh, they never have a problem. They don't have to sweat it. Everything comes together for them perfectly, I should say." Don't assume that. Some people are just better at hiding it, better at not letting anyone know that they're sweating underneath. You know, there's that saying, never let them see you sweat. The more that we go through difficult times, the more we learn to be resilient and overcome challenges. And then some people just learn to not let it show. I had a client go through a horrible, horrible breakup. And this was one for the record books. It was just one of those challenges in a relationship that really could have been a movie. It was that dramatic a breakup. And she really was feeling kind of down and beaten. And the first thing Spirit came through and said was, "Please, don't tell everyone everything you've been through." Because she said after it all happened, she had to dress up and go to work the next day like nothing happened. And I said, "Well, don't tell the people you work with what you're going through. Because work is work. And they don't need to see you in your vulnerability and your hurt and your pain. And no one needs to be in your business unless they're in your camp and your cheerleader, or someone who's going to hold a vibration of love and light for you while you go through this and not judge you or form an opinion of you based on the story you tell." You see, as humans, we jump to conclusions. And there's a line that says, "Let your desires be spoken only unto the Lord." And this is why Spirit will always advise us to please speak your truth and your desires to God. And for the rest, just make the conversations that are your day-to-day conversations. And only find those trusted people that you can share and be your true, complete self. Because even the people we love and love us, sometimes they have difficulty seeing us in a different light, because they're comfortable with us the way we are. I think if I had told people I was going to go on this spiritual journey and open a center in West Palm Beach once I moved here, I think they would have thought I was crazy. So thank goodness I didn't tell anyone. I didn't ask for permission. I didn't ask anyone's opinion. I went into what was in my soul, and my soul told me to do this. And I didn't have all the answers. And I can't say that the journey's always been an easy ride. But I had to do what was inside of me. I had to follow the light. And literally, when you sit and you ask the divine to guide you, your angels, your loved ones on the other side, an amazing thing happens. a light shows up on the path. And all you have to do is follow the light. One foot in front of another. Even if you can't see anywhere beyond the one light that you're following, trust that the universe has your back. Trust that your angels and guides are with you. And that no matter how dark anything appears, no matter how contentious things may be, no matter how challenging and difficult they may be, you have a power within you that is a light that can shine and take away any darkness and negate any negativity. That is the light that is within you. So take your light. Take your wisdom, take your truth, and stand tall. Send it out into the world. And say kind things. Be a kind person. Hold the door for someone. Be in joy regardless of what's going on. Find that one moment, that one joyful moment, and hang on to that light. And ride that light beam to the next beam. And don't worry about falling into the dark abyss. Because no matter how illusionary the darkness may be and all the fear it may elicit from you, no matter what obstacles you may be going through, no matter what financial challenges, personal challenges, health challenges, there's always a light. There's always an aspect of light that you can hang on to, that can shine within, shine from within and out, and can really make a difference. You can be the light in everything you do. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors. We're so glad that you're here with us this Wednesday night on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. We're here from 6:30 to 9 p.m. every Wednesday night answering your questions. And tonight in the 8 o'clock hour, we have Stacey Holler kind of tuning us in to what's going on in the universe and the planets and see what destiny has in store for us. So if you want to know what your astrological signs are lining up to bring about for you, what the planets are going to be doing, and how it could influence some outcomes, I encourage you to stay with us for our 8 o'clock hour and hear what Stacey has to say. Well, we're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors. We welcome your phone calls at 866-972-7247. Stay with us. I'm Sarah Spiritual, and we'll be right back.
To be, 'cause the world is changing now. We can't walk the way we did. We don't know the path. We have to listen to our heart. The ways that worked before, they don't work anymore. We have lost our love for everyone. We have hurt each other. The world is changing now. It's asking us to move along, to open up a different way of loving one.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WIRK 103.1 HD3 Indiantown, and heard in Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. We are South Florida's home for the True Oldies channel. Alexa rocks, and now so do you.
How can I help you?
Just say, Alexa, play True Oldies FLA.
Okay, playing it now.
Now, you've got the good time oldies. Your True Oldies Listener's Guide. Listening in the Palm Beaches? That's 95.9 FM. On the Treasure Coast? You want 106.9 FM. In Boca? It's 95.3 FM. We've got Fort Lauderdale and Broward County covered with 96.9 FM. And you can always hear us anywhere at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canales Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome back to the next 2 hours of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussions to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect to the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all experience and knowledge. We have another 2 hours to listen and call in 866-9-SARAHs. That's 866-972-7247. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and you can share the love and light.
The world is changing now, and we don't know where to go. The world is different now, and people have lost their way. It's just not easy to be who we want to be, 'cause the world is changing. don't know the path. We have to listen to our heart, the ways that worked before, they don't work anymore. We have lost our love for everyone. We have hurt each other. The world is changing now. It's asking us to move along, to open up a different way of loving one another. We can't stay the same. We've lost the game of life. We can't run away anymore. The world is changing now.
Yes, indeed, the world is changing, and we have to heed the warning. We have to move and change with it. Otherwise, we get left behind. That song was given to me by Spirit in 2020. I was sitting at my piano. We were doing a Facebook Live. We're long overdue for that. But we were doing a Facebook Live, and we were bringing music to our Facebook Live, and I was channeling songs, and that song was part of that session for us. I don't remember if it was in the very beginning, but I know that it just came through me. And what you hear in our opening is exactly what they gave me. We didn't go back and make any changes. It was exactly how I channeled it that day. And it was a message. I truly believe that we all get messages from the universe, and we all have an opportunity to take that message and share it with others. And that was a message that, the world was going through a wobble at that time. And it's changed. And the one thing that we can control is how we choose to feel and how we express love and light and what we do with the circumstances that are given to us. Do we complain and feel hurt and resentful, or do we feel that moment of sadness and disappointment and look to see how we can bring some light into a situation? So remember, wherever you are in your journey, there's always an opportunity to bring light. Well, tonight we've got a lot of light, and most of the light is coming from all of you as we answer your questions at 866-972-7247 all across the nation. We also have our friends on Facebook, so I say hey to the friends on Facebook. Be sure to put your question in the feed. We will be answering your questions, and I'm going to say howdy to my friends on YouTube. And if you're not following me, Sarah Spiritual, on YouTube, if you'd like to see some of our past shows, you can find them on YouTube under Sarah Spiritual. If you'd like to hear some of my other channeled messages from Spirit, they're there as well. If you'd like to see some of our past Facebook Lives, they're on my YouTube page as well. If you enjoy the channeled music that Spirit gives me, you've got more songs to find. We have over 300 songs we've channeled. They're not all on YouTube, but we do have quite a bit. And it's interesting to see the different topics that Spirit has covered with me. We've had love songs. We've had songs about light and change in the world. We had songs from our loved ones from the other side and that they're always connected to us. We've had songs about past life rememberings, and we actually use that song for our break when we go to commercial midway. So be sure to listen for that one. Do you know me? Do I know you? Have we met before? That's another great one. So be sure to visit our YouTube channel. I'd love to have you follow us and shoot me a message and let me know, hey, Sarah Spiritual, I'm following you, because we want to share light, and I'd really love it if you share the page, share the love, share the light with other people. And I thank those of you who share the experience of your sessions, your readings with me, with other people, and then you invite them to come to the center and have an in-person reading. Or perhaps you've referred someone and they don't live in this South Florida area, and I get to meet them via phone or Skype or video or FaceTime, and we get to connect all across the globe. I have clients everywhere just about, and I love that connection. And what means the most to me is that you sent them to me. And that's the greatest compliment you can give the work I do. And that's the greatest thing that you can do to shine the light, right? We all have a little question in our minds that we need a little clarity. And even though we've had our conversation with God and we've talked to our angels, we just need that vote of confidence to go forward. Or we just need some insight as to where the challenges may be so we're prepared. Because life will give us some challenges along the way. And if I can shed a little light on an upcoming challenge so that you're more prepared, and it doesn't kind of send you reeling, and then you can go, oh, this is what Sarah Spiritual was telling me about. All right, I'm ready. And you just go right through it, and you continue on your path, and you continue to your success. How many times people have come to me and they said, oh, my boyfriend's not talking to me, and he's just kind of ghosted me, and I don't know what happened, and I don't have closure. And then Spirit will say, okay, give it time because he'll be back. And people will sit across from me and go, I don't know how that's going to happen. And I said, it's not for you to know. It's for Spirit to give us that energy of light and hope, and for us to just trust that it'll come back around. I have some fabulous stories of that. And then sometimes people leave our life because it's time for them to go and get out. And the universe just gets the hook and pulls them out. So we've got to let the universe do its part. But there's always a happy ending at the end of the story, regardless of where you are now. And no matter how hopeless it looks, something good's coming. I got a feeling. And I've got a feeling I've got to get to the phone lines. And I don't know what show number this is, so someone's going to have to tell me that. Because we've been doing this for so long, I like to keep track of how many shows. And I think some of you noticed I wasn't here for a couple of weeks. Oops. The girl who shows up for everything, right? But I really was having a little trouble with my voice, and so I had to give it a little rest there, and I still had to talk every day for my sessions. So I couldn't come on Wednesday, but that's okay. And my producer says it's show number 736 live shows. So we're so glad for those of you who have joined us. And why do I mention that? Because I have someone that we're going to take their call from, and they've probably listened to 735. I think they might have missed one in all the 15 years we've been online and live on national radio on multiple stations. So we're going to go to Steve in Broward. Steve, how are you? Good to have you, Steve. Are you there?
I'm doing great.
Good. Good to have you join us.
I just had a birthday.
I know you just had a birthday, right? So it's lion season. The Leo is out. And it's really, this is the year that I've been telling you that some of these changes that you've wanted to have happen and evolution, this is the year that all of that starts to happen for you. There's a great level of expansion. And we have to go back in time, you and I, and not because of the history of your listening to the show, although we greatly appreciate that, so thank you for that. But my guides tell me, take Steve back, Sarah, back to 2015. Steve, where was your life in 2015, right? There were twists and turns and changes, yes, at that time?
Yes, and
indeed.
I was still going through it with my ex.
With your ex, it was a difficult time. There were things going on with visitation with your daughter, and it was a hot mess, we could say, correct?
Correct.
Well, we are closing that chapter, and even though I know a lot of these issues of 2015 have been solved, we're kind of coming out of all of those trials and tribulations that really made you feel as if you were never going to get up. It was like you were Rocky. And every time you stood up, you got a punch, right? And you kept telling yourself, I've got to get up. And so now life gets easier from a spiritual perspective, from a financial perspective, from an emotional perspective. things really start to gel. And I know I've said this to you before, but they reiterated in my hearing, in my connection to spirit, that there's also great spiritual evolution that comes for you. And that you are evolving spectacularly, and that this year, a lot of they call them odd happenings, odd visions, unusual senses and feelings are all going to start to make sense to you. And all the pieces kind of come together. So, Steve, what is your birthday question for us today?
Usually every year when I talk to you around my birthday, I try to get a birthday reading so I know where I'm at.
Well, you're in a good place. You know, I know there's some things that you desire that aren't quite there yet, but that's okay. Look how far you've come. Don't look at what you have yet to accomplish. Just visualize what you desire. But I need you to look back, and that's why Spirit said, take him back, Sarah. Take him back to 2015. Take Steve back so he could see how far he's come, how much he had to go through, how he persevered, how he was resilient, responsible, resourceful, and was able to navigate all of that because it was building. I know you've had a lot of character building experiences, but the universe was giving you more character and giving you the strength so that when you embrace the reason for your being, so that you could be a light for other people, Steve, this is how they are going to make it a solid path for you, so that as you help other people in your own unique way, you won't trip and fall along the way. So it's meant to be a great birthday year. They want you to continue to take good care of yourself, continue to monitor your health and make those adjustments that you know are necessary, right? You're kind of fine-tuning some things in your health. So pay attention to that, and it's meant to be a good year.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, Steve. Thank you for listening to the show all these years. We greatly appreciate you, and of course, keep us posted on the journey. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
866-972-7247. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation, and we would love to have your Facebook questions and your YouTube questions. I'd love for you to share the page, share the light, share the love. So share that Facebook page and tell your friends to visit Sarah Spiritual on YouTube. We're going to go back to the phone lines, and I've got to go to Francis, and Francis is in Palm Beach. Francis, how are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Good to connect with you, Francis. And what is your question for us tonight?
I don't really know what the question is, just that I've been feeling confused lately.
Looking at what we need to let go of, what's not serving us anymore, what may be making you feel empty and lost. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. Dig down deep in your soul. Confusion is not from God, and when you feel confused, your guides and your angels want you to tap into the feeling of how you feel when you're feeling confused, and what is the cause of that confusion, and who is the cause of that confusion. And as you feel that confusion feeling that you are experiencing, ask yourself this question: what can I do to shift this feeling? What would I like to do? Now, you may say to me, but Sarah, I'm confused. I don't know what to do. But you do know what to do. You do know what to do. It's just you're afraid of making a move and a change, because when we make moves and changes, when we make a decision, we're worried it's going to be the wrong decision. So confusion is the wobble of uncertainty as to, do I stay the course or do I make the change? Because if I make the change, there's uncertainty there because I've never been there before. I've never experienced that before. And so you need to stay rooted in yourself and be true to yourself. Now, I will tell you that this year brings you financial expansion. It brings you financial growth. It gives you an opportunity for you to tune in more spiritually. It is going to shift some of the consciousness around you. And that anything that you're really, really looking to change, even though we're feeling confused at the moment, those changes begin to happen after this birthday you're going to have in the fall. This birthday opens up the pathway that if a person, a place, a job, a something no longer serves you, there will not be a confusion. There will be a, this is what I need to do for me. It is okay for you, Francis, to put yourself first. It is okay for you to choose a path that's going to bring you joy. Right now, I kind of see you spinning your wheels, feeling unfulfilled, not feeling as if you're whole, if that makes sense to you, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So in this journey, visualize what would make you feel joyful, notice what makes you feel uncomfortable, and know that there will be changes that the universe will support to help you. Is there a follow-up specific question for me that you need?
Yeah, I do know who is causing the confusion, and it's more of I don't know where I stand.
Do we have a birthday for this person?
Yes, it's August 23rd, 1974.
So, again, you're going to know if this is in or out and where you stand a little more clearly in the months to come. I will tell you to be careful with your words and your conversation. I don't want you to walk on eggshells, but I also want you to know that you don't know where you stand because they don't know where you stand because they're uncertain to where they are. And this year is a year for them to kind of make changes because they're kind of stuck in their own rut and they think things are better in the world elsewhere in their mind because they just feel like life is so repetitive for them. And I feel like they have in their mind built up a lot of pressure and they're not ready to be the giver, the carer person that you need them to be at this moment. I see them shut off, shut down. And so you want to give them space. And in the moment of space, you get to decide what you want. We don't wait for life based on someone else. Whether they're in or out will reveal itself. They right now have stepped back. And so I don't see confusion in that. They are doing what they need to do for themselves. So you need to decide if you want to give them space for a bit before you decide if you are in or out. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Give this time. Spirit is not asking you to pull the plug. We're saying give this time to your birthday. We stand with what we said in the beginning of our conversation. And you'll know more by the time your birthday comes. Watch your words during this Mercury retrograde. A lot of emotions are going to be bubbling up, right? And they're not ready to be accountable and take ownership for some of your feelings. And so you're going to have to nurture self and tend to self while they're getting themselves a little better situated. I will tell you that next year, their focus is more on relationship, is more on connection. This year, there's too much going on for them. I hope this gives you some guidance and comfort.
It does.
Good. Thank you so much, Francis, for your call. We greatly appreciate you. Bye for now.
Thank you.
You're welcome. 866-972-7247. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah right here on the Oldies Station, and we welcome your phone calls and your Facebook and YouTube messages. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, we'll go back to the phone lines, and we're going to visit our friends on Facebook and YouTube. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Do you know me? Do I know you? Have we met before? I've been standing in the room before I walk.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAS. That's 866-972-7247.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
You are listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual, at 866-9-SARAS. That's toll free. 866-972-7247. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Do you know me? Do I know you? Have we met before? I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know my voice? Did you call me with your song? Because you know that you know me.
Because you know that you know me, I am Sarah Spiritual, and you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation. And we welcome your phone calls at 866-972-7247. Now, we've got calls on the board, and we're also going to be talking to our friends on Facebook. So be sure to put your questions in the feed. I believe we're gathering some of them up from Facebook and YouTube. We're going to be going to Facebook and YouTube in just a minute, but before we do, I've got to grab a call from Angela, and Angela is in New York. Let's see what's going on with Angela. Angela, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
So I was calling to see if you could connect with my kitty that just passed last week.
Oh my. I'm always so sad when I hear a little kitty passed.
Yeah. She she was only like 2.
Yes, it was unexpected is what I was just about to say. Yeah. And did she have something going on with her breath and her breathing before she passed? Like, did she have some like lung infection before she passed?
They think, I mean, I brought her to the animal hospital, and she was just going in for like vomiting.
Mm-hmm.
She was vomiting and then she hasn't eaten for 3 days, and then after that, they were gonna they did X-rays. It looked like everything looked good. There was nothing in the X-rays, but they were still gonna do like just an exploratory surgical procedure just to see maybe she ate something, but then I guess after a couple of days she got like heart failure. And that's how
I see her lungs.
I guess they gave her.
Yeah, I see her lungs like filling up with fluid. Like I see that whole center of the chest. Like that's what was the end for her. She will come to you.
Yeah, that's when.
She's going to come to you. You're going to feel her. You're going to see her, hear her. She's going to make herself known.
I mean, was this like something that could have been prevented?
No, it was nothing you did. Nothing you did wrong. Matter of fact, she tells me you saved her. Did you adopt her or rescue her from someone? Angela, are you with me? Somehow I think we lost Angela.
I don't know why I can't. Oh, no, okay, now you're in.
Okay.
I don't know what happened.
The universe happened, honey, that's all. All technology and things. So what I get from your kitty and the energy, right, and it's very faint because she did just cross, and so she's not as settled in for me to make a strong connection. But she's making me aware that she's going to reveal herself to you. You're going to feel her, see her, hear her. She's going to come to you so that you know that she's safe. But she also, there's nothing you did wrong. It was just what was going to happen because something was off in her body already when you got her, and it was unbeknownst to anyone. But she makes me aware of the feeling that you saved her. Did you rescue her from someone, or?
I mean, I got her from a shelter. And
yes. There you go. She tells me you saved her. Yeah, you saved her. So you gave her the best little life she could have for the years that she was here. And I'm going to tell you a little secret. She can come back to you. So if you hear of a litter of kittens being born in the next 3 to 4 months, and you feel called...
It's just that I have another cat, and she's very territorial, and it was even impossible to get the kitty I had. Like, it was so much, it took me like 2 months to be separate rooms, and it was horrible.
It was horrible. Okay.
So I never wanted to do that again. Like, it was very hard on me.
Yeah. But just know she would come back to you, okay? She would come back to you because you made her feel so safe.
Do you know if she was suffering? Do you know if she was suffering?
No, I don't feel she was suffering until the last day. Okay?
Okay, yeah, because they wanted me to put it down, and I didn't want to at all. Like, I regret it.
I know, but everything was filled with fluid in her chest is how I see it. So you had to, right? So you did the right thing for her. And again, she'll become stronger in the energy, and you'll know that she's around. She'll give you a signal. You may hear her, or one of her toys may move on the floor. She's going to let herself be known to you. Angela, how did you hear about the show?
Like on Facebook, I get like feeds, and I saw your feed on.
Well, thank you for calling. We welcome you to our show. We hope you follow the Sarah Spiritual page. We're here every Wednesday night answering all sorts of questions. And I always love talking about pets. So thank you so much for that. And we're sorry for the loss, but know that she's in heaven, in kitty heaven, and she's crossed the Rainbow Bridge, and her energy's settling in, and she's at peace. And that she is in great appreciation for the fact you saved her. All right, honey. Thank you so much. Bye for now.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
866-972-7247. I know we've got a few questions on Facebook, and I want to see what's going on in Facebook and YouTube. I don't know. I think there's some romantic stuff going on with people. I think we've got some breakups going on. Let's see what the Facebook feed has to say. Who do we have a question from in our Facebook? Okay, let's see. We'll just kind of pull it up a little bit more for me so I can be sure to see it all. Let's make it a little bigger. Okay. So here we go. All right, so we have someone who's going through a bad breakup, and the significant other, and I have their birthday here. So let me see here. Ryan Graham, and let's take a look here. Going through a bad breakup, been together for months. It was ugly. Don't feel like this breakup is, so it feels really bad for her. Okay, so let me just tune into the energy for you, my dear, and let me tune into your partner. Okay, partner is really closed off, really shut down, and I really feel like some things were said that's really hard to come back from. This is what I want you to know. And this year for you, Rayan, is a roller coaster year for you. So no wonder you went through a really horrific breakup. I feel like this is a year that is testing you, bringing you through a lot of changes. It's really kind of forcing you to see life through a different lens. And I know right now you don't like the lens that you're seeing it. I just know that this relationship is not a relationship that's going to be able to go backwards and resume. I know that this person really wasn't ready for a relationship, and so that's brought quite a clash for you. I know you're feeling really badly right now. I do feel that there may be an opportunity for a little more closure and a little bit more of a kind communication, but not yet in the future. But I don't feel that this person, given the energy that was exuded and the clash that happened between the two of you, that this would be a healthy experience to step back into. I will tell you this, that through a series of changes this year, as we head to your birthday and we close out this 2024 time, Rayan, I see that the year's going to close on a better note, and I do see new love and partnership coming your way. So try not to take this as personally as I know you are, and do the healing work, and the universe has your back. All right, honey, bye for now. We're going to take another question from Facebook and YouTube, if we have another one waiting for us here. We have a YouTube question by Jessica the Goddess, and we're going to take a look and see what's going on here. She's so over her job. I mean, do I see her getting a higher paying job as a property manager soon? So we're going to take a look and see where you are in the journey here. Okay, here's the perfect thing for you. This birthday that you just had in May is going to kind of clear the deck. I look at the past 2 years and I feel like you've been feeling like you've been spinning your wheels, Jessica the Goddess. And we thank you for your question on YouTube, and we want you to know that as we look into this birthday that has just passed, it really opens up possibilities of new beginnings. It opens up possibilities of change. And yes, I can see you getting a new job as a property manager. Pay ideally should be more. We may have to start somewhere, prove ourselves, and then earn our way up. But I do see a new opportunity for you. And I really feel that, I know you want to get out of there, but I really feel that as we get closer to the month of October, the world opens up to bring you new opportunities for new employment. So Jessica the Goddess, hang on, because the universe is going to bring you a new opportunity. And we will ask the angels to assist making that happen for you as quickly as possible. Thank you, Jessica, for your question on YouTube. We're welcoming your phone calls at 866-972-7247. Are you interested in developing your spiritual gifts? Do you feel that you've got intuition? You're a little psychic? Do you get messages from the other side, but you're not sure you're interpreting them correctly? Do you get evidence by seeing signs from numbers and such? Do you want to know how to kind of read your energy and the energy of the people around you? Well, I've got my spiritual development program, and this is designed to help you develop a connection with your guides and your angels and your loved ones. And that is starting August 20th, and it is live at the Expedito Enlightenment Center, and we broadcast it live from there so that you can take the class no matter where you are. And so it is our connection class for your development of your psychic and spiritual connection, and it starts August 20th. You can learn more at sarahspiritual.com. This is a 4-week program. We've got it very reasonably priced, easy for you to attend from anywhere. Go to sarahspiritual.com. Well, we're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors. Stay with us, everyone. We're welcoming your phone calls at 866-972-7247. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Do you know me? Do I know you? Have we met before? I've been standing in the room before I walk through.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
You are listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual, at 866-9-SARAHS. That's toll free, 866-972-7247. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know my voice? Did you call me with your soul? Because you know that you know me.
Because you know me, I am Sarah Spiritual, and you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation at 866-972-7247. We're so glad to have you join us here tonight, and we're welcoming your phone calls. And, of course, we're welcoming your conversations on Facebook and on YouTube. We've got quite the conversations going on here in our Facebook page, so do sure hope you join us here. We've got a lot of comments happening here, and we've got some phone lines that we just opened up, and we also have some people asking some questions here, so we're going to get to those questions in just a little bit here. But before we do, I've got to go back to my phone lines, and I've got to go to Marlena, and Marlena is in Fort Lauderdale. Marlena, how are you tonight?
Hi there, Sarah. Thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome. Good to connect with you here. And what is your burning question for us tonight?
Well, Sarah, I am having a really difficult time with the mother of my granddaughter. This is my son's girlfriend. And this has been going on for some time. And by time, I mean years. And it's to the point that I have not been able to see my granddaughter, who's now 4 months old.
I see the separation.
And
yes, I do.
It's I'm really struggling with it, and it's affecting my relationship with my son. And I just really don't know what direction to go.
And that's the difficult part, because the girlfriend, what is her birthday, please, for the young lady?
Her birthday is May 18th.
You know, in her insecurities, she's kind of trying to separate your son from family. You understand this, yes?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. That's something that I recognized a long time ago. And
she needs to be the center of attention, right? And so that's why it's really affecting you with your son. But you know, your son is a strong-willed guy, and he's trying to keep the peace right now. And of course, he's kind of absorbed in the baby experience. But, you know, he'll begin to see things for what they are. I don't see him allowing you to be shut out forever. But she's really doing a good job of letting you know that you're not welcome in her family, right? And that her son, your son, has gone off and made his own family, and you're not a part of it. And it's a very vicious experience, I know. What is your son's birthday?
My son's birthday is June 5th.
You know, your son, he's going to come around. He's got to keep the peace in his house, but he's going to come around. So give them their space. I know it's difficult for you, but you have to let them be, because if you push the issue and he has to choose, in this minute, he's choosing her. And you don't want to put yourself in a position where he's choosing between the two of you. He has to put himself in the thought process of, I want to share this experience with my mother. and I want my mom to be a part of my baby's life. And, I want her to experience being a grandmother, all the things that you're thinking. He needs to have his, what I call come to Jesus moment, and the light bulb go off in his mind. And once that happens, then he will start to come around. This is a year for him to kind of take stock in where he is and kind of make some personal changes. That's where his soul is taking him. And it can be a pretty powerful time for him. So we've got to allow him to do that. Ideally, in the next few months, we should have a better outcome in this. But remember who you're dealing with, and she's always going to kind of try to yank the rug out from under. So until she and he have a different understanding between the two of them, your son doesn't handle stress very well. So when she goes off on a tangent and starts creating angst and anxiety for him, he doesn't process that very well. So then he placates her, is the word I get. So he's got to come to terms with that. And when he does, that will determine what he does in regard to you, and then, of course, the relationship itself. We're not wishing any harm to the relationship. They do have a love and an experience together that is valid. It's just that her insecurities and her wounds are running the show. She's very possessive and jealous, and she doesn't like sharing your son with anybody, actually. So she's kind of alienated him from quite a few people. Does that make sense to you?
It does. It definitely does, and it's accurate. I just wonder if I have already gone too far, because I have gotten upset with him about this, and it's hard to find a way back.
Give it time, right? And Mercury's retrograde, so now's not the time to kind of backpedal and trying to shift our words. So I suggest that you just give it the next little bit of time, and things will turn around for you. I know this is difficult, and I'm sorry that you're going through this, but things will turn around. All right. Thank you so much, Marlena. All right. Bye for now. Bye. 866-972-7247. We're going to go back to our phone lines. And from Fort Lauderdale, I've got to go to Missouri. And we've got Jackie on the line. Jackie, how are you tonight?
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good to connect with you. Are you ready, Jackie, to really expand yourself and
I'm ready.
Really open up to the world?
I would like that. I was feeling a little depressed today. I had listened to a call, and I was like, I don't know, it just got me down. And I was like, I need to know that things are going to be better financially for me by the end of the year.
Yeah. Well, and that's part of the reason why I did the show I did tonight. We have to be the light in the darkness, and oh my God, there's so many things going on. And, if I listen to people talk, they're like, oh, let me take you down this rabbit hole. And I'm like, let's not say we did. There's a lot of things that can happen in the world. And, the world is going through a twist and turn. But we repeat patterns. And as humanity, we haven't really elevated some of the patterning. So if we go back in time to times that were difficult, well, we're kind of back there again, but we have the power to change the outcome and not make it be as dramatic as it was before. Financially, in result of conflict throughout the world, we have the power to change the outcome. So, yes, we can hear these calls, and these calls can tell us what to do to prepare and how to plan and all the bad things that are coming, right? And depends what station you turn on, someone's got a bad story telling you something's coming. But what is the greatest power that governs all of this? The power of the divine, the power of light, the power of love, the power of God. So when we hear these stories, first thing I want you all to say when you hear this story is, it's going on in the world, and you just say to the universe, not in my watch. We have the power to shift and change, and I'm going to be the light. And whatever the dark story is that's coming to me, I realize that there are facts that can happen, that can unfold, but I choose to see it in a different light. That's not being a Pollyanna. That's not putting your head in the sand and being an ostrich. This is just you choose to hear the story And then when you hear the story, you go, no, not on my watch. On my watch, this may go on in the world, and I pray that it doesn't, and I ask the angels and God to intervene so that as humanity, we don't totally screw up. But I want you to then say to yourself, but in my world, I'm going to be protected. In my world, I'm going to be financially secure. In my world, I'm going to be safe. My family's going to be safe. You know, we choose to be in the energy of light, and when you choose to be in the energy of light and love, you're always protected because love is the insulator against anything negative. And we have to look at that. We have to look at that and change our perception of what our reality is. We're being bombarded everywhere we turn with hypnotic suggestions as to how terrible the world's going to be, or what next pandemic is coming, or what's going to happen in the market next. You know, and we can all open up our stock market and look at all the red and go, oh my God, right? But it goes up, it goes down, right? And you have to tap into your own intuition. And we have to ask God to guide us. And if everybody did that, regardless of what came at them, we would know when to get out of something just in the nick of time. We would change a plan and not participate in something and thus be safe if something's going to unfold in the world. We would follow our intuition and make sure if there's a hurricane that could happen, or like here in South Florida, we're all prepared because it is hurricane season. We'd make sure we have our supplies in case something happens. You know, we make sure that we can handle things in life if the internet goes down, or if we don't have power for a few days. Like, there's so many stories going out in the world. Jackie, we could be terrified, but that's fear. And it doesn't have to happen that way. And then we have to ask ourselves the source of the information, and are they capitalizing on what they're promoting and saying is going to happen because they've got the next solution. So we have to step back and put it in perspective and ask the divine, is this a reality? Is this something I need to concern myself with? Is this going to impact myself? And I don't want it to happen on my watch, so guide me, God. I understand the feeling of depression from all of this, but you can only take the facts as they are presented and see what's real and tangible and can impact you. Do the best you can to shift things and be prepared in some way, and then leave the rest to the divine, because you're going to be fine. And you have your own gifts,
so
Jackie.
You see something.
You have your own gifts.
I know,
you have to pay
do.
attention.
Yeah. I just didn't know whether something, good financially would happen before the end of the year for me or not. That was part of it too.
Well, that can always happen, right? We have to visualize it. We need to see it happening, right? And there's so many changes and so many in the areas of the world that can impact you particularly, that you just have to trust that that can happen. You've been waiting a long time for your financial ship to come in. So we want to trust that.
Yes, I have. 13 years.
You and a lot of people.
Long time.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, Jackie,
okay,
I trust I've been of
Sarah.
service to you. My pleasure. All right, honey. Thank you so much. And be the light, be the love, and share your gifts with the world. We appreciate you for calling, Jackie. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome. 866-972-7247. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, we've got Stacy Holler on the line, and she's going to tell us what the stars have in store for us, where the planets are, and how they may kind of kick us in the gut here and there or shake up our world, and what the positive flip side may be of all the changes that are going on planetarily as some of these planets start going backwards. How's it going to impact you? Well, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, let's get the update on your astrology for this month of August with Stacy Holler. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
It's just not easy to be who we want to be.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAS. That's 866-972-7247.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WIRK 103.1 HD3 Indiantown, and heard in Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. We are South Florida's home for the True Oldies channel.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canales Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome back to the next hour of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussion to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect to the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all experience and knowledge. We have another hour to listen and call in 866-9-SARAS. That's 866-972-7247. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and you can share the love and light.
where to go. The world is different now, and people have lost their way. It's just not easy to be who we want to be. 'Cause the world is changing now. We can't walk the way we did. We don't know the path. We have to listen to our heart. The ways that worked before, they don't work anymore. We have lost our love for everyone. We have hurt each other. The world is changing now. It's asking us to move along, to open up.
Yes, indeed, the world, it's asking you to move along. And what a crazy bit of world it is, but we can be the light, we can find the light, and we can share it with others. And, of course, there's always a bright side to everything. You've just got to do the work and take a look for it. May not always show itself right away, but there's always a light, there's always a way. We've got our friends who are on our phone lines waiting. We've got our friends on Facebook and YouTube. Don't go anywhere because we're going to get to your questions. But in this minute, I've got to get to a very important conversation. You see, I've got my friend Stacy Holler, and she is an astrologer. She's been doing astrology for 30 years, and she is the person that we go to every month so that she can share with us what's going on in the planets and how they're rocking around the astrological clock. And we get to take a look and see how it impacts you and what messages the planets have for each one of us and how we can navigate those experiences. So we're going to go to our phone lines and we're going to talk to Stacy. Stacy, how are you tonight?
I'm great, Sarah. Happy to be here.
Good to have you.
Happy birthday to all our Leo friends.
I know we got a lot of Leo friends here. I've had so many sessions with Leos popping in here, so they're all in a lion frenzy. They're all getting ready for big things here. Mm-hmm. And thank you so much, Stacy, for joining us. I know that you're traveling. You're away on a trip, so we appreciate you making the time to be here with all of us to share the news at the beginning of the month, like you always do, so that we're all prepared for what's happening in the planets. So tell our listeners what we can expect.
Well, there was just too much going on this month that we need to all pay attention to. And your talk today and your opening was just so perfect, as always, Sarah, as to what we're going to talk about. So I want to highlight really some of the most powerful energies going on and how we're going to navigate them. But the good news is we're not going to do much of anything because it's definitely a time that we need to pause and reflect. So you mentioned the Mercury retrograde, and it's back like it's always back. But this month, it changes signs, so it gets even a little trickier with us. But I don't know, Sarah, this is a pretty powerful one. Have you been feeling it the last couple of weeks in its shadow?
I have felt it in the shadow, and you could look for those little blips in technology and things, and even in personal energy, personal energy feeling depleted. And when does Mercury come out of retrograde? I know it just went into retrograde. Was it this Monday? Is that correct?
Yes, it started Monday, but in the shadow of the last couple of weeks, that's when we had the CrowdStrike outage and the Delta outage. and data breaches. And I got a crazy letter about a data breach from I don't even know when it came from. So it's already started. Now, it officially, yes, started on Monday, and it does end on the 28th. But it goes from Virgo to Leo. So we need to take a look at where this retrograde is going to hit us in our lives so we could really be aware. But for everybody, it's about communications. As Sarah said, technology. As right on cue, my internet went out. Happens every retrograde. So it is a time not to do new things. It's a great time to reevaluate, to reassess, to restart. And it also might bring some people back into our lives. So it's a very interesting time. So we'll look at how we want to navigate that for most of the month. But what happens in the middle of the retrograde happens on the 19th. And there are two very powerful T-squares, which I'll explain in a minute, that happen right on the full moon. So it's definitely an inflection time. Now, T-squares means the first one, Jupiter, Saturn, and Venus, all are squaring off in mutable signs. And in the second one, in fixed signs, the full moon is squaring off with the Mercury in retrograde and Uranus. So all this means is there's a lot of very powerful energies going on and a lot of planetary influences really punching up this full moon on the 19th. So it's a time of major breakthroughs. It's a stressful time. It happens to be the same time as the Democratic Convention. So all of us feeling it in our lives are seeing this happening in the world as well. So I think we got to figure out where we're going to navigate all this in our lives and really, to what you were talking to, Sarah, stay low, stay true to yourself. Not a time to start, but the universe makes us stop and reflect a lot, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. So where shall we
that's
go?
What I think we're going to need to do.
Where do we go? Where do we go from here, Stacy? I mean, we've got the retrograde, we've got our T-squares. I'm going to imagine that some astrological signs are going to feel the effects maybe a little harder than others. Is that true?
Yes. Well, the mutable signs and the fixed signs. There are so many signs affected in here. Now, for each of us, of course, looking at your individual charts and seeing exactly where your planets fall and hits will give you more information on the intensity for you. But we're all going to feel it to some extent because there is just so much going on affecting us in our charts. And that's why we want to take a look at, well, where in our lives are we meant to take a look at? You know, you said something earlier that, of course, resonated with me, and I'm sure everyone, that when we're going through these stressful times, we have no idea why until maybe a few years later. And we're like, oh, that's why.
That's why.
What this is about. So this might be one of those times, Sarah, where we might not understand, but the universe will point us in the direction to show us where we need change. So should we take a look for each of us?
Let's take a look at all the astrological signs and see what's going to impact us so that people have a sense of how to navigate August, because I know it's not going to be all bad. So let's shed some light on this astrology, shall we?
And, you know, to your point of not all bad, change is not all bad, and breakthroughs are not all bad. So in looking at it that way, definitely. Let's look at, we'll start off now, everybody you know, pay attention to your sun sign and your rising sign if you know your rising sign. Now, Aries, in the beginning of our rock around the clock, the Mercury rate starts off in your 6th house, so that's health. Every day matters. But work schedules, you're going to find that you're going to have canceled plans. Go with the flow. And when the retrograde moves into Leo, that's when it goes into your 5th house, and maybe some old loves reappear in your life. Maybe you want to revisit a new project. So the positive of this is to stop and take a look at what did you let go in the past that maybe you want to move forward with now. Now, the full moon for you, Aries, that's in your 11th house. That's about collaborations and teamwork and networking. So on that day, the energy is going to be focused on where you need changes. Where do you need changes with the people you collaborate with the projects that you're working on? Now, everybody keep in mind where the full moon is going to trigger things. Don't make your move till after the retrograde. but pay attention and start making your plans. Now, Taurus, the Mercury retrograde starts off in your 5th house, so you too might have returning lovers. But you might also get a chance to finish a project you never did. Now, the 5th house is also about children. So some reoccurring challenges with children may appear. It does move into your 4th house, which is about home and family. It could also mean you might be thinking about a move or a renovation. Just plan it. Don't do it until the retrograde's over. And the full moon for you is in your house of career. So here, take a look at where have you been resisting change? What kind of breakthrough is it needed? Will it be a job offer, a promotion? Remember, don't start it till after the end of the month. Now, Gemini, your Mercury retrograde starts off in your 4th house of home. So maybe there's changes in your home or the people in your home. If you're thinking about a move too, wait. Renovations, wait. And then it moves into your 3rd house of communication. So Gemini, don't hit send, click on those emails. You better watch your communications. It's right in your house of communications. It could also have to do with siblings and people in your neighborhood. Now, your full moon, that's in your 9th house. That's about your view of the world, studies, travel, media. Focus on your belief system. Maybe something new you need to study, or do you need to plan that trip? That's where this is going to bubble up. Now, Cancer, your Mercury retrograde starts off in your 3rd house of communication. So you too, don't hit send so quick. Really, cross all the T's and dot all the I's, Cancers. Watch those for miscommunications. Then the retrograde in Leo moves into your 2nd house, so be careful with money. Back up your data. Recheck those bank statements. And your full moon, that's in your 8th house of intimacy and shared resources. So with the intimacy, maybe you're thinking about making something official or turning in a new direction. Maybe you could finally have resolutions with some debt or a real estate deal you've been working on. Now, Leos, the retrograde starts off in your money house in Virgo. Maybe you want to rethink your budget, how you make money. Go very carefully, though. Check your statements, too. And then when it moves into Leo, it moves into your sign, Leo. So it's all about you. What are your priorities? Now is your personal reflection time. Who you are in the world. What do you even look like in the world? And your full moon, 7th house, committed relationships. So for you, Leos, this is an inflection time for love or business relationships, making things official or changing the direction. This is your time to think about what that means for you. Now, Virgo, the Mercury retrograde starts off in your 1st house. So watch your technology, watch your communications and travels. And then when it moves into Leo, that's your 12th house, Virgo, it's lay low time. It's healing time. It's going to be a confusing time. Just sit back and reflect and wait till the end of the retrograde. Your full moon is in your house of work and health. So look at your diet, look at your habits. What changes are needed? Are you missing that doctor's appointment you need to get to? Libra, the Mercury retrograde for you starts off in your 12th house. It's a foggy time for you, I know. You're doing a lot of inner work, good time for therapy, reflection. And when it moves into Leo, it's in your 11th house, collaboration and teamwork. Maybe you want to revisit your goals and your dreams. What do you really want? That's for you to think about here. Don't start any new technologies in that house. Now, the full moon is in your 5th house. That's romance. Maybe there's baby news. Maybe there's engagement news. Maybe you have new inspirations for your talents. Now, Scorpio, the Mercury retrograde starts in your 11th house. For you, that is collaborations and teamwork, so make your plans. Don't launch a new project. Put the plans and the friends and the people in place. And when it moves into Leo, it's in your career house. So also, don't start a new job, but maybe you want to plan your next step or how you're going to get that promotion. All right? Or maybe an old employer will come back and make you a job offer. Now, the full moon is in your 4th house, so that's about family. So if family issues come up, they're meant to be looked at this time. If you're thinking about moving, that might come up to 4 also. Now, Sag, the retrograde starts off in your 10th house of career, so it's time for planning for you, not to make a move. Where do you want to be? And when it moves into Leo in your ninth house, that's where you could layer in, well, what are the plans I need to get there? What new studies do I need? What experiences will help me? And the full moon for you is in your third house. That could be a breakthrough for projects you're working on. Anything to do with media, communications, that's all highlighted in that house, as well as siblings and your neighborhood. Now, Capricorn, the retrograde starts off in your ninth house. Watch for travel, Capricorn. That's the house of travel. Make your plans. Don't go to new places, but if you want to return to a place you've been before, that would be great. And when it moves into Leo, that's in your eighth house. Watch your investments, shared resources, or maybe an ex appears in your life too. And the full moon is in your second house of money and values. So with budgets, saving, spending, what do you need to adjust in your spending plan? And then Aquarius, the Mercury retrograde starts off in your eighth house. For you, it's the shared resources. What new together do you want to plan for investments, all right, or with your committed relationships? Because then it moves into your seventh house. So it's a lot about relationships for you, this retrograde, Aquarians. You want to just listen and pause and see what you really want in those relationships. The full moon for you is in your first house, so it's about your personal goals. The focus there is for you to set boundaries and really stick to your own truth and who do you want to be in this world. And then Pisces, we start off in your seventh house of committed relationships. Don't make any major decisions, but I know you're going to be thinking about it. And yes, the ex-lovers may come back to you too. And then when it moves into Leo, it's in your house of health and wellness. Look at your routines. What bad habits do you need to purge? Make those appointments. And your full moon is in your 12th house. It's all about going inside and letting go, listening to your gut, listening to your intuition, and getting the support you need. And, you know, that's a good place to end, Sarah, because I think that's good advice for all of us to navigate, listening to your gut and your intuition. All I'm sharing with you are the areas that are going to be highlighted for you in your journey at this moment in time for us to make some changes and move forward. So buckle up, go slow, but don't do any big changes this month. I think that's the best way to navigate, Sarah.
Sounds like a plan. We'll stay the course, and we'll trust our gut, and we'll look for the light in any dark situation, knowing that the universe always has our back. All the planets, everything is working for us, even when it seems like it's going against us. Something fabulous can come out of everything. Well, Stacy, we greatly appreciate your taking the time to share with us the astrology report for all the signs for the month of August. Anyone who'd like to contact Stacy for their personal chart, you can go to destinyinthestars.com. Stacy's been doing astrology for 30 years. I know you won't be disappointed. Visit destinyinthestars.com. As always, Stacy, we greatly appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sarah. See you next month.
See you next month. Bye for now. We welcome your phone calls at 866-972-7247. We're going to be getting to our phone lines and our friends on Facebook and YouTube. First, we're going to grab a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back.
I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
You are listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual, at 866-9-SARAHS. That's toll free, 866-972-7247. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
And we are back here live on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation at 866-972-7247. And we're answering your questions. And we're going to visit our friends on Facebook and YouTube for a minute before we go back to our phone lines. Our phone lines, we've got calls all across the nation, and we've got calls in Pittsburgh and New York. And we're going to get there in just a minute. But first, let's see what we have on our YouTube and our Facebook page. I want to make sure we get to their questions as well. So who do we have on our Facebook page or our YouTube page? Let's take a look. There we go. Anybody have a question? There we go. Okay, so we've got Brittany Amber. We'll just take that up a bit. So my sister's memory come back to her. How long will she be needing care from others? We're going to take a look at this, Brittany. I know that your sister was in an accident, and we sent the angels to help her. And I think it's going to be quite a while before your sister's memory comes back. I do feel that it's going to take some time. I feel that the blow to her head caused quite a bit of disruption. And my guides make me feel like the next 2-3 months are going to be really slow moving for your sister. We send the angels so that she can have a full, complete recovery, and so that her brain can go back to normal. I know it's going to take some time. So Brittany, there is a positive outcome in this. It's just going to take at least a few months. So we'll just have to really all kind of pull up and step up to be of assistance to her. I know it's a difficult time, and we give our prayers to you and your family and to your sister Kathleen. Thank you so much for your question, and we appreciate that you've been listening to the show all these years. Bye for now. Let's take one more from Facebook and YouTube. before we go back to our phone lines at 866-972-7247. And we're going to tune in here. So we've got Janet Stackman. And Janet says, she's in a financial bit of a rut. Do I see the light at the end of the tunnel and the flow of any abundance coming soon? You know, Janet, this year is a year of bumps, and I'm not surprised that we're in a little bit of a snafu. But yes, I do feel that as we step out of this year, things start to lighten up. I know that means we've got a few more months to hang on, but I do think that things are going to turn around. And I do know that you're waiting. You're waiting for some things to come to fruition, and there's not a fast enough timeline on that. But I do know that some of your investments are supposed to pay off. So in the meantime, we're going to have to count those pennies and get everything in alignment and trust that the universe will bring some extra flow to you while we're waiting for the big payout that I know that you are expecting the universe to give you. Janet, hang in there. It will get better. Thank you so much for your Facebook question. We're going to go back to our phone lines at 866-972-7247. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, and we are answering questions. And I've got to go to Hannah. Hannah is in Pittsburgh. Hannah, how are you tonight?
I'm pretty well, and yourself?
I'm doing well. Good to make this connection for you. Hang on to your hat, Hannah. This is a year of change. Are you feeling the urge, the need to make some changes of things that aren't working for you? You're getting ready to pick up and go, and you're such a free spirit. Are you trying to find your way to your freedom? Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
It is time. So get on the Hannah bus and get on the energy that makes Hannah feel good, because I think Hannah's feeling a little tired of feeling stuck, yes? And we need to kind of cut out the people that are not supporting you. I'm feeling like there's a push against you because not everybody's understanding where you're coming from. And I think some of your words are not being heard clearly, but it's time for you to take a step back and say, what would Hannah love to have changed by the time her next birthday comes? And I want you to write it down. And I want you to say, I am the woman who has manifested a new position for work. I am the woman who has manifested a circle of friends and people that support me. And I am the woman who is able to be a free spirit because that's who I am. Does this make sense to you?
Yeah, too much sense.
How did you hear about the show, Hannah?
My brother.
Well, we thank your brother. And what is your burning question for me tonight?
Burning question.
What area of your life is a little unclear in this time of change for you?
I guess I'm stuck between asking a question about financial and then another about like friends and relationships.
Let's go to friends and relationship. Finances will take care of themselves. Don't you worry about that. Okay. Friends and relationships, that's complicated. What's the question?
Like if I have the right circle of people around me, or if I'm, dealing with the correct people that are, if they're actually supporting against me, and if like my family has the right opinions about the people that I surround myself with.
Not everybody in your circle is for you, honey. That's why we were saying you got to take a look at the people that are surrounding you when I first started talking. Spirit told me not everybody's happy for you. Not everybody's supporting you. I know that they serve a purpose, some of the people in your circle, and you enjoy their company for different reasons, but you really need to take a good look at what it is you want and start to make that happen, and not talk to your friends about certain aspects of what you're creating for yourself. The universe has great opportunities for you. And I feel like there's this level of, it's going to sound weird to say, a level of jealousy or insecurity coming from some of the people in your circle. And
that's funny, because I've literally been saying that to myself. I said that today.
Well, I'm glad you had that aha moment. So now Clip, clip, cut them, let them go, distance yourself, step back, keep it moving. Anyone who tries to hold you back and tie you down and doesn't allow you to be your true authentic self, right, can't be happy for you. I know people have difficulty seeing us in a different box or in a different way, and they have to get used to it, and it can be a little uncomfortable for people a little bit when we want to make changes, but deep down inside we want people who are going to be happy for us and say, okay, well, I don't know that I see you that way, but I support you, and mean it. You have people who are giving you lip service, and then behind your back they're having a whole nother conversation, I hate to tell you. So I see 3 people who need to go. And if you tell me that's your whole friend circle, oh well, keep it moving.
Yeah.
And I know it hurts, but we just need to realize that they're acquaintances and that they're people that maybe we might go out with every once in a while or, just spend a little time with, but we can't be personally connected to them the way you are. You're such a giving, kind, loving person. You're very transparent. You say what you think and you mean, and you've got the wrong audience.
Yeah.
All right. It's going to be a good year. Go ahead.
So more for like a relationship aspect. Do you feel like to let that go too?
What is their birthday?
February 1st.
Well, they're a little complicated, yes?
Yeah.
And they run lukewarm, and I don't feel like you get enough oomph from them. Is that also true?
Here and there, yeah. They're a great friend, but there are some lukewarm areas. That's a great way to describe it.
So does that sound like a love relationship to you? Nope. Let them stay in the friend zone. I'm telling you, this year, once your birthday comes, you kind of go through this shift, this metamorphosis, and then you're going to be like, all right, I'm ready for something new. So just know that these things are being brought to your attention. These people, their behavior, these aspects of life are being brought to your attention to get your attention so you can begin to make the adjustments so that you don't get blindsided by people around you because they didn't have their best intentions towards you. So pay attention to your intuition. Your guides and angels are helping you. And I know sometimes we don't like to admit our family's right, and sometimes they're not because they can be protective. But, your family they're seeing qualities in some of the people around you that you're not giving enough attention to. So, pay attention to what they've said. And remember, it's their opinion. You have your own soul journey with all these people. Other people's opinions do not define us, but just use it as a bit of guidance. Take what Spirit has said, put it all together, and make the changes that you really need to make. Thank you so much, honey, for connecting with us. We welcome you to the show. I hope you follow us on YouTube and Facebook and stay in touch with us. We'd greatly love to hear what's coming up next for Hannah. All right?
Thank you so much. Have a blessed night. I really appreciate the guidance.
My pleasure. Bye for now. 866-972-7247. Now from Pittsburgh, I got to go to New York, New York. I've got Anne Marie on the line, and according to my spirit guides, Anne Marie's got some things happening for her. Anne Marie, how are you tonight? Oops, do we have Anne Marie? Oh, we lost Anne Marie. Okay, then we're going to keep it moving, and we're going to go to our next caller. And I've got to go to B in Fort Lauderdale. And Anne Marie, if you're listening, try to give us a call back because I know we've got some interesting things to say to you. But we've got B in Fort Lauderdale right now. B, how are you? How be you?
I be needing some insight.
Well, we got plenty of that going around here. I just got to ask an angel or guide. So, B, what's the burning question for us tonight?
Okay, so I'm going to be moving to St. Augustine, but I've got some health issues, so I have to keep popping back and forth. but I'm in the spiritual community.
Yes.
And I've been blessed in terms of building people that I help and things like that. And so I guess I'm trying to see if things will kind of settle down, and then I'll be able to build a community where I can help others and the area that I'm moving to.
Absolutely. It does seem that
everything's a mess.
I know. But this is a big year for you to make the right move, the financial moves, the things that make life easier for you. And even though we'll be going back and forth, we can establish ourselves in St. Augustine, find some medical assistance there. We just got to get the body back in alignment and balance, right? And I feel like we've been navigating, it seems like two things at once in the health arena. Is that true? Do we have two little things going on at once at this time?
Yeah, maybe three, but yeah, definitely two.
Two are the main things that we have to look at, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'll get this in order. You'll get this in order, and it's really time for you to take care of yourself. You know, you've been pushing yourself a bit, and you've been running to help others, and now this is your time to let others be of service to you. Remember that you're a healer. Remember that you're a messenger. Remember that you have the power to heal, the power to put every cell in your body in divine light and put light in the dark areas in the body that are out of alignment, and fill yourself with light and heal the energy. And use modern science, modern technology, modern medicine to whatever degree is necessary so that they can give you the tools to facilitate that. And then we'll get you back in order. And then when I look, B, as we come out of this year into next year, you feel much stronger, much healthier, and I feel like we've solved the problem, okay? We've put it in a path of healing, and we've solved the problem.
My God, that'd be amazing.
You can do that. You want to trust the experience, my darling.
Okay.
Your angels
thank you
have
for that.
you. You're welcome.
I needed to hear that.
Your angels have you. Archangel Raphael is with you. Archangel Michael is with you. And I also see, B, the Blessed Mother, Mother Mary, with you.
Mm-hmm. Always.
Always. And she will assist you through this. And you will come out ahead of it. I know it's a little bumpy experience, but you will come out ahead of it. And, you know, we have to remember that we are led to believe that we age, and I know the body does technically according to years age, but I think we kind of come to this thought of, we kind of create this thought that things are going to start to go wrong at a particular age, and I want you to hold the vision that you're whole, you're healthy, you're youthful, and every cell is restored to its original perfection. And this will help you. I know some people be like, oh, that sounds like hogwash. That sounds like Pollyanna stuff. But no, it's commanding the energy, commanding the light, and putting it in the action in the physical body so it can act on the divine behalf so you can be restored to your oneness.
And also what you said about, you know, healing myself. We forget as healers that
Correct.
we can heal ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for reminding me to do that.
Absolutely. And when are you going to St. Augustine? I love it there.
I'm going back and forth every couple of weeks to try to sort things out. I have a place already. I'm just, but because of my doctors and things like that, I can't switch it yet. There was an accident and I have to keep coming back. So hopefully a couple months and then I could just move completely full time.
All right, perfect. So maybe I'll see you in time for Christmas, B.
You know what? Just you're more. I'd love to see you. I meet you.
Yep. All right. We'll see you in St.
You have my phone
Augustine in
number?
December. I do.
Yeah,
Thank
give
you
me a call.
so much.
I'd love to meet up with you.
All right, honey. Thank you so much. Bye for now. All right. Stay well.
Thank you, sweetheart. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye. 866-972-7247. We've got to grab one more commercial, and then when we come back, I've got Anne-Marie back on the line, and I've got some other people who are holding. Don't go anywhere if you're on the phone lines. Let's get to this commercial so we can get right back and get to Anne-Marie and our other callers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
You are listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual, at 866-9-SARAHS. That's toll free, 866-972-7247. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
And we are back here live on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation, and we're going back to our phone lines. We tried to talk to Anne-Marie before. Somehow we lost her, but the universe brought her right back to us. So we're going to New York. New York, it's a heck of a town. And I've got Anne-Marie on the line. Anne-Marie, how are you tonight?
Hi, Sarah. Hope all is well. Sorry we got disconnected before.
That's quite all right. I'm glad we were able to connect with you. Anne-Marie, are you trying to get out of the routine, trying to get out of the box, trying to do something new, get some things moving and
Yes,
shaking for yourself? This is the time. This is the perfect time between now and your birthday to get yourself in alignment with new dreams, new goals, new desires, and things that are going to help you expand emotionally, physically, and financially. Anne-Marie, what is your question for us tonight?
I have two questions, Sarah, if you don't mind. One being that, does my grandmother who recently passed have any messages for me and my family? Her birthday is December 25th, 1934.
And did she pass in the past few months?
She passed in May 25th.
Okay. Little soon for me to make a connection with her. That's why I asked that. And of course, we are sorry for the loss of your grandmother. I know that she will be in transition for a bit. Is this connected to your mom's mom, please?
No, my father's.
It's your father's mom. Okay. We'll give this some time, and we will be able to connect with her.
Is my other grandmother coming through?
Your mother's coming through. Yes, she's with you.
Mom.
Yeah, your mom's mom is with you. Your grandmother's with you.
Oh, thank you. My second question is, any advice on love? I feel like I'm at a standstill right now.
You have a money question for me?
Money question. So I do. I just launched a new business.
Great.
And I want to know if I will be successful with it, and will I get my initial investment? And also, I do have a large investment that's supposed to expire this month. Will that be successful?
You do have a lot of money coming to you in the next few months. So your business is going to take a little time to get its momentum, but I do feel that there's money to be made. Let me ask, what is the business, please?
It's actually a spray painting business that I just opened up.
Okay.
I mean, it's been since December, so I wanted to gain. It's starting to gain momentum now.
Perfect. Yeah, I feel like there's going to be momentum and income coming from this, and this is going to help supplement you, and your option that's going to be expiring this month should function and time on time, right? So there is money coming to you, right? And we know things are a little wobbly there financially, but it is meant to yield you a good amount.
Yeah,
the reason why I wanted
That's
to,
what I was worried about.
I wanted to, there's a lot going on, but I feel like you're going to kind of get in right under the wire and meet the deadline of that so that you can get the windfall associated with it. When I look at the energy of finances, the reason why I brought that up is I really feel like this is a time for you to kind of break the routine of going to work, doing this, doing that, and back and forth. And not that you don't like what you do, but I feel like we need other options. And you're doing things to create options for yourself, right? And this shifts your energy. And as you shift
outlet.
Yes. So as we shift our energy in other areas, our vibration shifts. This then shifts our energy and our ability to attract better choices for partners. So even though you feel like you're stuck in one end, you were kind of stuck for a while across the board. So universe says, angels say, bravo, we're making some moves for change. Change one thing, everything else starts to change its momentum. So I want you to trust that you're focusing on this because it shifts your consciousness, attracts different people to you, raises your vibration and frequency. You become more confident. You attract people who are drawn to that confidence, and then we get a better partner, someone who's ready to be a partner instead of just play around and be all confused and not know what they want to do.
Yeah, I'm hoping for that.
We don't live in the land of hope. We live in the land of manifestation. So you are the woman who's attracting a vibrationally matched partner who's ready for a relationship emotionally, spiritually, physically, and financially, and they are ready to have their partner, and the two of you shall meet. Yeah. This is the vision. We don't hope, we create.
that I'm going to be saying every day.
You're going to be saying it every day, and it is necessary to say because we have to program the energy, because inside of all of us, there's a little voice that says, well, it hasn't happened yet, so what makes me think it's going to happen now? And blah, 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 blah. And we go into that little crazy little talk we have.
That's the voice that's been in my mind. When is it going to happen?
I know. It happens in the perfect time, and what God has for you, no one can take from you. It is always meant to be, and it'll always be in the perfect moment. You are the co-creator with the universe, and we want a partner who's ready. We don't want someone who comes who doesn't have that ability to stay consistent and commit, right? I mean, I understand we meet people and we meet them for a reason, and they help us to find what we want. We help them to find what they want. There's a little sifting process that happens. But I know you're done sifting through shells on the beach. You're ready to throw them all back in with the seaweed. So it's time to go and time to move and to attract. And, you know, this is an important year for you. This is a year that you really tap into your creative skills. You kind of come out of that stagnation. And then when I move you into the energy of your next birthday, which will be here before we know it, by the way, and I know you'll say, thanks, Sarah, don't rush my years along. But I know that next year is a year of union, connections, relations, people. It is the perfect year to fall in love with the person that we're going to be with. So that's what I want you to focus on.
Yes. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'm glad we were able to get you back on the phone line. And keep us posted. And our condolences on the loss of Grandma. And we look forward to making a connection for you in a few months once she's settled in.
I'll be visiting you in Florida. Yes.
I look forward to that. Be sure to let us know when you're coming so we can get you on the wait list to make sure we accommodate you during your visiting time. All right?
Yes. Thank you so much, Sarah.
You're welcome.
I will be seeing you.
All right. I look forward to it. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I just love when people come in from out of town, and I get to see them at my Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. If you're local to us in South Florida, come on. We're a metaphysical center that's got all the goodies you need for connecting to the divine, for your books, your crystals, your singing bowls. We've got herbs, we've got oils, we've got sprays. And we teach classes there. We have our spiritual development class launching the 20th. It's going to be out of this world. Visit sarahspiritual.com, learn more about our class and all of our upcoming events. And please visit us in South Florida. If you're here from out of town, I'd love to meet you personally. I thank you all for tuning in and sharing time and space with us here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. For this moment, we are complete. We greatly appreciate you. We wish you all the best. Good night. God bless you. We'll see you next Wednesday. And I am Sarah Spiritual.
And we don't know where to go. The world is different now, and people have lost their way. It's just not easy to be who we want to be.
This has been Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. You can hear and speak with Sarah Spiritual every Wednesday from 6:30 to 9 p.m. Each week, Sarah Spiritual and Spirit answer your most important questions as you navigate through life. Listen and call in next week and let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit guide you. If you didn't have a chance to speak with Sarah Spiritual tonight, visit Sarah at sarahspiritual.com. You can message Sarah Spiritual at Facebook and follow her on Instagram. Tune in every Wednesday from 6:30 to 9 p.m. with more from Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
WSFS 104.3.